I have a friend and colleague who is a rabbi and a therapist, so he has a private practice on the side, and he is also the rabbi of a congregation, and he deals in his practice with veterans, American war veterans, who have varying different parts, different expressions of PTSD. So I asked him one day, and I said to him, how do you resolve that? Like, how do you deal with these young men, often in their 20s, who just aren't getting into the next stage of their life? And he says, I prescribed them one thing. I prescribed them community. Go find yourself a community. Go find yourself a place that you can belong. A place that when you're absent, you're missed. A place that you have a shoulder to cry on and an opportunity to give. A place that accepts you just for who you are, but always pushes you to be more than you can. I would like to think of a few and reflect on a few examples of that prescription, of what it means to be in our community for just a moment over here. I'd like you to meet for a moment. Well, let's go back a second. Are we good? So I got it. Meet Michael Rosenblum. Michael Rosenblum is a successful lawyer, wonderful husband, and father and grandfather. He also happens to be the Rabbi of the 8 o'clock minyan. Meet Yehuda Rubin. Yehuda Rubin is an 8th grader at Darachei Torah who comes to our 8 o'clock minyan every day almost. And this is what happens. This was from this morning, actually. At our 8 o'clock minyan, you have the Rabbi, Michael, taking a step backwards to make sure that Yehuda, who's all of 14 years old, is the Rabbi in our 8 o'clock minyan, making space for the leadership in our shul. Only in our community. I'd like you to meet Julie Cass and Cindy Merrill. Besides being mothers, wives, daughters, working in their businesses and having a great social life, they take our time every single Monday morning to volunteer to lead our incredible primetime program for seniors, for retirees. This is Julie and Cindy as they are working together with many of the people in our community, exercises, fascinating speakers and programs with their friends. Only in shul. This is community. Meet Danny Strulowitz. Danny is our teen leader, along with Josh Pomeranz, second in command. Both boys who graduated through our teen program at Yilk. And I'd like you to meet Rabbi Captain Benjamin Sampson, a member of our shul for many years, 3 generations in our shul, who just passed away a few months ago. At his funeral on a Friday morning, I was surprised to see right there in the funeral Danny Strulowitz and Josh Pomeranz. And I said, guys, why are you here? How do you know Rabbi Sampson? So it turns out that in our teen minyan, a number of Rabbi Samson's grandsons come. And Rabbi Samson, because he likes to spend time with his grandsons, would come to the minyan. And so you have 2 20-year-old boys in YU who are role models to our teens, who made a relationship with an octogenarian captain of the U.S. as a chaplain and came to his funeral because only in shul. I'd like you to meet Dr. Yeager. Now, Dr. Yeager, besides being a doubly retired dean, and is still going on more than he was even during his career, with an incredible amount of shirim and love and warmth that he gives to everybody else. Dr. Yeager also gives many shirim in our shul. Meet Harvey Wiener. Harvey is our welcome committee in the shul, in our lobby every single day, making our minyan. And I'd like you to understand that every Friday morning, Dr. Yeager, our retired dean, and Harvey, our aspiring young man with a great career ahead of him, spend time learning together, only in our shul. I'd like you to meet Donnie and Sarah. Donnie and Sarah are our youth directors, our new youth directors as of this year, who are doing an incredible job in our youth department. And I'd like you to meet Ever. You may have met Ever. He's a quiet fellow who is one of the custodians in our shul. He works in the evenings in our shul. And at the Hanukkah children's party, which Donnie organized, they said to him, take the pizza afterwards. Yeah, take the pizza home. And he said, I'm sorry, I can't take the pizza. They said, why not? He said, well, I have to walk 2.5 miles to get home. They said, 2.5 miles? He lives off in the far end of Inwood. So they said, so how do you get here regularly? So they said, I walk. To and from? Yes, he walks to and from. So with a quick post on the Yilk Young Families chat, Donnie put together the money to buy Ever a scooter. This is Donnie and Sarah giving Ever the scooter just a few minutes ago. Just the actual action shot over there. Do we have the video on this? There we are. That's the moment over there. Only in our shul. Because this is what it means to prescribe being part of a community, which is why tonight is so special. These are just a few moments that happened in the last few months that happened through the context of Kehillah. There are many wonderful organizations out there doing great chesed, but folks, the oldest organization in Judaism, which is where all the other organizations come from, is shul, is the prescription called community, where young and old, people from different walks of life meet and make each other better. And thank you for being part of that. That's why tonight we are celebrating with two extraordinary couples. I'm going to leave a little more to Rabbi to introduce the Shafs, but I want to just say briefly on my side, Rabbi and Tamara, you guys, I was about to say Donnie, was that? Are you guys Siamese twins? Okay. Rabbi and Tamara, you guys just don't say no. You just don't say no. You're there, and Baruch Hashem, celebrating with your wonderful parents, the Azabels, the Shafs, who are builders of communities, both sides of the 5 towns. Your kids, Megan, Sloan, Parker, Tyler, you've been there for your parents, you've been there for your school, and you've been here for our community. Tomorrow you served on Sisterhood Youth. You've been opening your home every time we ask you to. Rabbi, I don't even know how to describe how much. Whether as a member, a gabbai, a young professional, a VP, and a friend for so many years. There's so much to say about you. I'm going to let Rabbi Schreier say more as Ed to introduce you. But thank you. Thank you for this natural expression of being what it means to be community members. And now for Tamar and Norman Blumenthal. I think Tamar is going to be the word of the evening tonight. It was a good choice. I knew that Dr. Blumenthal first as my teacher when I was in YU Smicha. Dr. Blumenthal has always been a role model for me and also happens to be the father of a very good friend of mine, Ezra, who I spent time together with in Yeshiva in Kiryat. Shout out to Ezra. Where are you, Ezra? Oh yeah, in the back. Don't get lost over there. I did not realize how much I would have the chance to interact and ask and learn from you, as so many rabbis, community leaders, and NGOs around the world call Dr. Blumenthal for his advice in the most trying of situations. You know, it's a schus to daven musaf with Dr. Blumenthal in the ballroom, and the tears can be heard in that moment. And I know that our tefillos are going up to Shemayim because of Dr. Blumenthal being there in that minyan in the ballroom, because the burden that he carries on his shoulder for the traumas that he helps with around the world is coming through those tefillos. And I feel specifically, personally elevated by this as well. Every time you speak, your wit, your humility, your insight are penetrating and on the mark. Your presence on our Israel mission added so much. Your presentation on Surfside when you came back and spoke to our shul. Your presentation entering Simchas Torah this last year was so elevating. And just your words today that went out as part of Oil's incredible newsletter as to how to process this was so meaningful. Tamar, you feel very uncomfortable being here because you do not like being in the limelight at all, which is exactly why we asked you to step out into it for just a brief moment. Because truly, the work that the two of you to do together, privately and so quietly, is really where our community should be looking to. It is the zone of the chesed ambassadors, of people. I cannot tell you how many times on an Erev Shabbos we need a place for somebody who's visiting the community from the outside, and there's always a house to be had. There are some people in our community who just don't stop. Tamar, just the house that you make, the beautiful place that you make for everybody, and the walls that never seem to end, that you've increased. I know that just when you were doing a little construction, I said, tomorrow it's going to be a great place for more guests. And you said, that's exactly why I made it that way, which is precisely who you are, which comes from your family, Baruch Hashem, Rabbi Sachs, and your wonderful, illustrious family who are joining us, Dr. Blumenthal, your father and mother, who are part of this shul, founding members all these years ago. It makes us so proud. Tamara did not want to accept this offer, and this honor, and it's not an honor. It's a charge to everybody else in the room. And let me explain why. On the back of the raffle tickets you'll get outside is the idea of Vana'afrecho Shabbos, of inviting in other people to your house on Shabbos Zachar. Be a guest or be a host. They have stepped out of their comfort, the Blumenthals, to be here to say, let's do more. So folks, the best way to honor the Blumenthals at this moment is to do more, to open our houses more, to care more, to extend our shoulders to more people, because that is what it means to be part of community.